Good morning, guys. We miss you. It says, let's do our morning message. It says, good morning. Today is Friday, March 20th, 2020. All right. I'm going to read a book called Froggy Bakes a Cake. We all know you guys love to bake. This is by Jonathan London, illustrated by Frank. Frank drew the pictures. Froggy Bakes a Cake. It was Froggy's mother's birthday. Froggy was outside making mud pies. Froggy, called his father. What? Help me bake a cake for your mother. Oh, please, cried Froggy. I want to do it all by myself. So Froggy flopped into the kitchen. Flop, flop, flop. You'll need flour, said his father, and sugar and chocolate. I know, cried Froggy, and he pushed his chair against the counter and climbed up. He took down the flour, he took down the sugar, he took down all the chocolate candy his mother had hidden since Halloween. We need lots of flour and sugar, said Froggy, and he dumped a large bag of flour and a whole box of sugar into a big yellow bowl. We need lots of chocolate, said Froggy, and he dumped in 10 handfuls of chocolate-covered flies. Ew, flies? We need milk too, said Froggy's father. I know, cried Froggy, and he flopped to the fridge. Flop, flop, flop. And he grabbed a carton of milk. Oops, it dropped on his foot and spilled. And eggs and butter, added his father. I know, cried Froggy. He snatched a carton of eggs. Oops, he only broke 4 or 5. And just one stick of butter fell on the floor. Don't forget the baking powder, said his father. I know, cried Froggy, and he climbed up and took down the baking powder. Then he cracked 7 eggs into the bowl. Crack, 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 crack. And only a few shells fell in. And he put in the butter, bloop, and poured in the milk, glop, 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 glop. And finally he dumped in the whole box of baking powder, sloop. Time to mix it all together, said his father. I know, cried Froggy, and he stirred it and slopped it and mixed it and plopped it. Then he dumped all the goopy cake batter into a cake pan and shoved the cake into the oven, and he sang, oogly boogly, burbly bake, I make and I bake, and I wait for the cake. Froggy, called his father. What? While you wait for the cake to bake, help me blow up the balloons. Froggy helped blow up the balloons. He blew, and he blew, and he blew, and he blew. Pop! Now, said his father, help me set up the table. Froggy helped set the table. Oops, he knocked over the lemonade and paper party tablecloth got all wet. Froggy, called his mother. What? What smells so good? It's a surprise, yelled Froggy, and he flopped back to the kitchen. Flop, flop, flop. Come and get it, hollered Froggy. Froggy's mother and father flopped in, slid across the buttery floor, and Froggy said, are you ready? And opened the oven door. Yikes! The cake exploded, yelped Froggy's father. Oops, cried Froggy, looking more red in the face than green. Too much baking powder, I guess. It's good, though, said his father, licking his fingers. Wait, cried Froggy. I'll be right back. Flop, flop, flop. Happy birthday, Mom, he said, and he handed her fresh mud pie with a candle in it. I made it all by myself. Oh, Froggy, said his mother, this is the best birthday pie I've ever had. What a mess, said Froggy's father. Let's go out to celebrate. Great, said Froggy. Yes, said Froggy's mother. And together they leapfrog all the way to the bakery. Flap, flap, flap. What's something you guys like to bake at home? Well, I know what we like to bake here is Play-Doh. All the children love to have their hands get in there and mix it all together and pour and measure with the ingredients. So today we are going to do a Play-Doh recipe. And it calls for 2 cups of flour. 1, 2. Next, it calls for 1 cup of salt. I'm pouring 1 cup of salt. When we do something like this involves math, and it also involves in sensory and art. Right, so that's just about 1 cup. I'm gonna pour it in there. This is optional. Sometimes we don't have it in our classroom, but it's called cream of tartar, and it calls for 2 tablespoons. And I may not have enough, which is fine. It's just something to add in a little bit of extra. Next, we need 1 tablespoon of oil. And I got our 1 cup of hot water. And usually we sometimes throw in our watercolors, but I have picked up some Kool-Aid packets, and I'm going to add in blue. And it makes it smell really good. Mix it together with a spoon. And once it starts kind of getting all clumpy like this, the children love to knead it all together. It looks like I should have added a little bit more blue in there. I'm gonna add a little bit more blue in there. It looks like purple, but it's
It's fine.
It's blue. It's totally fine. They love mixing the colors too. So I'm going to knead it together. The children love to have flour all ready for them to knead it together. So what I'm going to do is throw a little flour down here, dump it out, and they will knead it until it is nice and soft, and it'll be ready to play with Play-Doh. And it's one of their favorite things to do also is playing with Play-Doh and
Getting messy.
getting messy and mixing things together is something they love. So what I like for you guys to do this weekend is to make something at your house. It can be either Play-Doh, slime, a cake, cookies, cupcake, anything. And make sure you guys post a picture in the comments down below. All right, can't wait to see what you guys make.